In this example, we're going to show you how to upgrade a UCS pod, and we're going to go through the process and the order of doing it. This assumes we've already uploaded the two required packages to perform the upgrade. So the first thing you want to do is go into your firmware management tab. We're actually going to click the update firmware. This shows the startup version right now is 1.43 on both the running version and the startup version. For this purpose, we're going to just choose the I/O modules for now. You can see they're at 1.3. We want to set the version to 1.4, and we're going to go ahead and click OK. You'll see in the update status that they say updating. This will take a little while, so in this video we'll fast forward things a little bit, but they'll go through and they'll do their process and they'll finish. You can go through and drill down to each of the chassis, each of the servers to see what's going on. As you can see, they finished, they're ready. Right now we want to activate the firmware. We're going to choose the I/O modules. We're going to set the version to 1.4. We're going to go ahead and click apply. So as you can see in the background, it comes up pending next reboot. So we'll go ahead and we'll reboot those later. Next thing we want to do is upload the new firmware. We're going to show you in this video, we just upload the infrastructure package. This is 2.01Q. Tells you it's finished. Let's go ahead and it tells you it's uploaded actually, so that means it's been put onto the onboard storage on the switch. So this example, we're going to go from 1.4 to 2.0 is what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is do the CIMCs, sorry. As you can see, when we look at the download tasks here, this gives you a status of what's going on. So you can see we have the 2.0 infrastructure package, but the B series 2.0 code still needs to finish. So we're going to go ahead and update the firmware. We're going to start with the CIMCs in this example. And you can see what's going on here. It says updating. Generally, I think at the same time you can do this. We're going to go ahead and do the I/O modules. We're going to flip those over to 2. Now, as you can see, these are just updating. They're not actually activating. So first thing you want to do is update the firmware, and then after that you're going to want to do activate firmware. So this is a nice feature in UCS. You can do all this from one console. You can provide upgrades across all the adapters, all the blades. So as you can see, all the CMICs are done. We're going to go ahead and do the adapters now. You can go ahead and do all. I generally like to do one at a time. So that's a new thing in 2.0. The release notes say you can go ahead and do all. Again, we're not activating the firmware. All we're doing is updating the firmware. So we're not really changing anything. We're just getting the new firmware ready to go. So go ahead and as you can see, they say updating. So right now you can see 32 network adapters getting simultaneously updated from one console. So fast forward a little bit, you can see they're all ready now. Now the big step is to activate firmware. So we want to do this in order. We're going to go ahead and do the adapters. Generally I ignore compatibility check. Make sure the set startup version. Go ahead and click OK. You'll see they are activating now. So we'll let that run. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the CIMCs. We're going to choose 2.0, ignore compatibility check, and we're going to click OK. It's going to take a little while to run. As you can see, it went through. Now they're rebooting. And they're ready. You can look through and see the status of everything, see what versions are set right now. We're going to go ahead and activate firmware. We're going to do UCS Manager. So it's at 1.4. We're going to go to 2.0. I'm going to click OK. So later you'll see we'll do the fabric interconnects themselves. This will most cause a reconnect. See. So this is just telling you it's going to disconnect all your sessions and you're going to want to log back in. So you're actually doing the UCS Manager component. So this is a look at our switch. We've got a console session just to see what's going on there. As you can see, it told us we lost connection, wants us to relog in. Go ahead and relog in. As you can see, it says version 2.0 now. We were at 1.4. Okay, so we're logged back in. I'm going to expand this window a little bit. Go into Equipment tab. This pulls down all the latest firmware versions, gives us a nice visual view of it. We can drill down by chassis. So we check out the hit the plus button here to expand everything. You can see what version we're running at now. Some things are pending reboot. Those are the adapters themselves inside the blades. Next thing we're going to do is look at the fabric interconnects themselves. Inside here you can see a lot about the fabric interconnect. You can see the version we're running here. This happens to be version 4.2 that we're currently at. You can see the high availability details here. What's the primary, the status, the link state. So now we can see they're definitely in high availability mode. Everybody's happy, so we can go ahead and move on to the next step. So we'll go ahead and upgrade the subordinate first. Obviously, we don't want to affect the primary. There's a proper procedure to do the subordinate and then the primary. So we're going to go ahead and choose the fabric interconnects. Shows us the startup version, the running version. No compatibility check. I'm going to hit the drop down here. It's going to give us a new list. See, we have 5.0 available now. So we're going to choose both the kernel and the system, doing the subordinate first. Once you hit apply, it's just going to tell you you're going to have to reconnect to the GUI if that's your primary. As you can see, it's activating now. We jump on the console session, the two switches. You can get a good view of what's going on with the switch during its activation.